Hi, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 29th. Today is an independent work day. So students were given several activities to complete during this class period, and I met with every single student to go over their annotations because what I'm understanding is that a lot of the kids are not really understanding what I mean by annotations. It was beneficial for me, instead of giving whole class instruction, about what the annotations should look like. It was beneficial for me to have each student come up to my desk and show me what they did, and then I gave them some feedback and then sent them back, and then they came back to me, because you really need to have this done correctly before you can move on to the next thing. So here's what the kids did. First of all, they had to read and annotate listening to Earth. So we're trying to find out what the differences are between convergent and divergent plate boundaries. And if you look on page 2, especially, describes what happens at convergent plate boundaries. And then it also describes what happens at divergent plate boundaries. And so what I would like you to do, if you were gone today, is I want you to pull out your article, look at page 2, and just look for these key words: landform, earthquake, volcanic activity. And when you read those, or when you find those, really pay attention to the sentence. And then you can answer the question: what landforms are found at convergent plate boundaries? What landforms are found at divergent plate boundaries? Is there earthquake activity at convergent and divergent plate boundaries? Is there volcanic activity at convergent and divergent plate boundaries? And pay attention to your diagrams. That's probably one of the most important information that you could see, especially because we've got so many of you guys who are visual learners. If you really study those diagrams, it will help you understand the text. And really, that's what diagrams and pictures are for, so that they can support the text. If you have a hard time reading what you just read, look at diagrams. That will help you, okay? And so number 1, just make sure you're prepared to show me your annotations when you come back. Number 2, please go to today's folder in Schoology. You're going to see a plate boundary comparison chart. So I'm going to take you there really fast just so you can see what I'm talking about. So in today's folder, you've got this plate boundary comparison chart. So copy this into GoodNotes and then follow the instructions so that you know what you're supposed to do in each one of these boxes. I'm going to allow you to use this graphic organizer when you answer a question to create a scientific argument, which is going to be one of your summative assessments for this unit. So copy, or like right here it says take a picture of the boundary from the article and then copy it here. So I do not have paper copies of this. I want you to take a picture of the diagram and put it in. And then when you get to the transform plate boundary, the article didn't mention anything about transform plate boundaries. So you're going to follow the instruction here and then put that picture on top of the words so that it's just right there in the box. You're going to go ahead and work through this whole thing. Now, here's what I found. In class today, the kids didn't get through this. In fact, some of the kids, I'll bet you they only had about 5 minutes because they had to wait in line for me to talk to them about their article, or they had to go back several times to redo part of their article annotations. And so the kids didn't really have a good enough opportunity to work through this. So I'm giving another independent work day tomorrow. So this is what we're working on. That comparison chart, again, not homework. I'm going to give class time tomorrow. And then if you are finished with everything tomorrow and you have time in class, then I'm going to have you take the vocab practice test, because remember that vocabulary practice test is on Thursday. Okay? Okay. Crazy day today. If you're gone, You're probably sitting there going, okay, great. What am I supposed to do? Let me tell you. Number one thing you have to do is when you come back to class, you need to make sure that your article has been read and annotated and you are ready to go. Okay, that's the number one thing. Don't worry about anything else. That's the only thing that I want to check and make sure that you're good and ready to go. And then we're going to move on together and I'll tell you what to do after that. Okay? All right, I will talk to you hopefully tomorrow.